Do not watch this movie. Actually, watch the movie just out of pure curiosity and then don't watch the movie ever again. Watch the movie the first time to give your support to the actors, the writers, and everyone, screenplay and all that. Yeah. Everyone that was a part of this movie. Watch the movie for them and then do not watch the movie ever again. I am burnt out. Probably not gonna yell. Probably not gonna scream or anything like that because there's no reason to. The the movie got like, I don't want to say word. Well, it did get worse for like this specific person as it went on. Like it was like a roller coaster that just kept going down and down and down and yeah. If I can give some advice to somebody that hasn't seen the movie yet, don't eat anything. Don't eat anything. Well, I was able to eat some popcorn because the movie wasn't that disgusting to me, but the movie was pretty disgusting. The movie made me feel uncomfortable from time to time, in a good way, I guess. There was some nudity. The rated R was definitely put to good use here. It was weird because like I was on a date here, and then my date kept looking at me because like there was some flashes of nude. Like if you've seen the trailer, you know like there's some angles and some flashes of nudity in the film, so I had to kind of look away so it doesn't look like I'm cheating. And what's ironic is the fact that I was actually the one that picked the movie. And the reason for me actually watching this movie was because one, I thought it was like a horror movie because I saw like on IMDb it was under like the horror genre or something like that. And I felt like this movie was gonna surprise me, which it did. But also Chris Stuckman, shout out to Chris Stuckman. He also influenced me to watch this movie too because I usually watch his movie reviews and he usually doesn't really bullshit anybody. So shout out to Chris. He really inspired me to watch this movie. And yeah, I wouldn't say that this is a 10 out of 10 movie. I probably wouldn't even say that this is a 9 out of 10 movie for me, just based off my experience of it. Uh the acting I thought was perfect. I thought both actors did exactly what they needed to do, especially Demi Moore. I feel like Demi, bro. I gotta watch some Demi Moore films, bro. Like I've always heard of Demi Moore, but I just haven't. I don't remember seeing any of her movies like that. I heard she was on a GI Jane once, but I feel like that's like beyond the correlation because I'm like a young movie viewer and I don't really watch like her generations of movies, like how like what she's done over the decades. So I'll try and go back and see some of her work. But this was a great performance. I mean, this was a great. I can't praise the movie enough. Like everyone in the movie did exactly what they needed to do. When they screamed, they screamed. When they smiled. When they laughed, they laughed. Like they did what they needed to do. Everybody did what they needed to do. This one guy, he kept making me laugh. I don't even know how. He just had that. He felt like I don't know his name, and if they said his name, I most likely forgot his name because of how derivating the movie was. But um, I forgot the guy's name. The guy who was eating the crab, the shrimp. The guy that was eating the shrimp at the restaurant. And he's all loud and stuff, and he's all red, for most of the movie. He made me laugh a couple of times, and shout out to him because he made me laugh a couple of times for some reason, just by how ridiculous he was and realistic in a way. Because I feel like The central meaning for this movie is like a thing that most, I would say, actors deal with. I believe I could see this happening. Like, bro, I recently seen like a Jeanette McCurdy, like, not really a documentary, but like a whole 30-minute hour video on her and what she's been going through. And to see this, man, like it's really telling how bizarre with the whole Jeanette McCurdy mom thing, and then Dan Schneider being a fucking creep, bro. Like it's so incredibly wild how things go beyond behind the scenes, man. To the point where like I don't even want to watch any Dan Schneider Nickelodeon shows anymore, bro. Like watching the clips and watching everything about the shows just feel different. Every time Jeanette McCurdy smiles, like it just feels so different now. Like, bro, they got YouTube clips of this nigga Schneider acting like a creep. I'm done. We're here for a different movie review. I don't want to get into that right now, but yeah, go watch the movie. And I apologize for my unenthusiasm in this video. I'm just very tired. Again, like I just got back from my date, which I think lasted like 7 or 8 hours, I think. So I'm just kind of tired, kind of worn out. I'm about to take a nap and turn on Stranger Things because I want to rewatch that whole show and possibly do a review on that like I did with the Umbrella Academy. I'm going to try and make a compilation of that too, of Umbrella Academy, because I think that kind of sums up to like an hour, I believe. But yeah, I'll see. Um, Great movie. It kind of like some parts of the movie kind of gave me, and I think it's probably American Psycho or what's that one movie called? Damn, what is it called? Inception. Like where the movie gives you like these self-interpretation type of vibes where, like, for example, the story, like, this movie felt like it was telling us a lesson, but there were some scenes that had, like, this self interpretation. Like, I can't describe it. I can't. Because there's some parts in the movie that are just more bizarre than others, bro. Like, dude. The nudity really surprised me. I can't even lie. Because usually most R-rated films have the nudity R-rated shit, and then they don't really follow through. This movie followed the fuck through, bro. Demi Moore and Margaret Qualley, or I'm sorry, I can't pronounce their last name. They both did great. Every actor in this movie did great. I would have liked to have seen I guess slight spoiler, I guess, whatever you want to call it. I would have liked to have seen, cause like that guy on the motorcycle with the helmet, like he knew her secret, like he knew what she was doing behind the scenes, and cause he literally left a note saying, et cetera, et cetera. Like if you've seen the movie, but nah, man, that's just wild to me that bro, the part where she was coming in and everybody was cheering for her, but it was just like like the last time she came in, like, dude, this movie was so bizarre. And then the story of the Hollywood star, like it's just everything about this movie is so great, and it makes me so uncomfortable at the same time. This was, I can tell, a perfect movie for a lot of people. I know some people are gonna say that this is the movie of the year, and God bless you if you do. I'm gonna give it a solid 8.5 out of 10. Again, just because there were parts of this movie that made me feel uncomfortable. There were parts where the camera just really just zoomed in on her ass and her tits to the point where it made me kind of feel uncomfortable at times. Again, one, because I was on a date. Two, because when I'm going to the movies on the big screen, I'm not there to see that type of stuff. Like I'm there to just like watch a regular movie. I like see the story play out, see how the characters interact with each other. I don't really go for that type of stuff. So the movie not only made me feel uncomfortable because of how how the deterioration started, but also because of just some of those shots. And I know I'm an adult, and I know I'm 20, and I know, et cetera, et cetera. I'll be a man, grab yourself by the balls or whatever. I don't know. That should just make me feel uncomfortable. You know. My I guess my girlfriend now technically. The girl I was with, she gave it a 7 out of 10. I told her I'm giving it a solid 8 out of 10 because balancing it out from like an 8 to an 8.5, I think it leans more to a solid 8. So I'm just gonna give it an 8. And yeah, perfect movie for what they were going for. I personally found it uncomfortable, as I said multiple times throughout the video. The movie, and I don't know if this counts as a spoiler, but the movie technically doesn't really have any jump scares. I wouldn't say. I don't uh, like this movie doesn't really have any particular jump scares that I fully remember. Well, I mean, I guess there's some, but it's not the ones that you'd expect. It's the ones that you kind of know are already coming based on how the movie is going, and you can only understand that if you seen the movie. So solid 8 to an 8.5 out of 10. Good movie. Unless if I'm watching this with like a group of friends, I'm never watching this shit by myself. I'm gonna keep it real. I may rewatch some scenes on YouTube just to like and see the comments because this. Actually, I'm gonna see the comments on the trailer because just to see how people kind of took for this movie. Because this movie was so fucking bizarre. But yeah, man, that's my thoughts on The Substance. And I like how they had everything ready and packed for her. Like again, this movie was so simple yet so effective. That's the best thing I could say about this. Like it's so simple yet it's so effective. And the movie goes in a way that you kind of don't expect, but you do expect at the same time. And yeah, man, I mean, we see the fall of, or the rise and fall of Elizabeth Sparkle. If you see the trailer, you already know. And, yeah, that's the Substance review for you. So, yeah.